Who talks first? You talk first. I talk first. Oh,
hey, Force Awakens. Let's go.
The Star Wars podcast. That's what we are.
I remember that was a good chuckle when I first heard that in the cinema.
Yeah, I still watch it and I laugh because I remember laughing in the past.
Yeah,
that's it.
It was like the first joke of the movie.
It was.
It was a new trilogy. We were ready for it.
New vibes.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
The gang. You guys, I wonder what the percentage of people that listen to this show that watch Doctor Who as well as Star Wars. We had a conversation about Doctor Who and Sherlock the other week. I wonder what the crossover of Doctor Who Star Wars is.
Must be a lot, because I feel like Star Wars was probably like the starting point for a lot of kids, and then they would go on to
into something like
Doctor Who. Doctor Who was the starting on point for stuff like Star Wars and all that. Even time travel stuff, like watching Back to the Future after watching Doctor Who was like amazing.
It was
like so cool to like all this time travel stuff. I love the idea of time travel. Still do.
Time travel is great. Where would you travel in time?
I think we had this conversation before. I actually don't.
Oh, we did.
I feel like
I think Jacob asked or something.
Yeah, something like that. I would. Do you know what I'd do if I could actually do something random? I'd randomly like grab someone who I know in my life and be like, all right, let's go into this box and go to like New York just before the pandemic and just like walk around like maybe December 2019 or something.
Before it all went
crazy.
To shit. Yeah, before it all went to shit.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And just like randomly just bring someone along and be like, yo, like this is
pretty damn cool.
This is my time machine.
Well, there's someone that I've always wanted to meet. Robin Hood.
Really? You want to meet Robin Hood?
I'm kidding. I was quoting Clara.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I'm sure. Guys, we have a very special guest joining us today. In fact, has just entered the building, but probably doesn't have that audio gear ready to go.
Audio.
Let's do this. Let's just find out what the situation is. Let's just fly in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Oh, fuck. Welcome to the show. It's Dylan! Oh, fuck. It's Dylan. Go, Dylan. Welcome to the show.
Let's go.
Dylan, do you have everything recording? We just decided to jump straight in.
Wait, you're already recording?
Yeah, we're recording on the air.
You've got your audio in the Zoom recording right now. Do you have everything else recording?
I'm gonna start my the camera in my actual mic now. Then.
All right, get on it. We want to hear that pretty voice.
You're on the air,
in
Dylan.
HD.
You're on the air.
That crisp
right.
Dylan.
I've clapped.
Oh,
so
fuck.
when you edit it.
I literally said, as we were setting up with Connor, I said, this is the most important clap that we've ever done. We literally are recording in about 5 different places right now. So, there we go. I'll just put a little behind-the-scenes photo of the fucking madness that is going on in front of us right now.
It's an important clap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
very important.
A lot of stuff. It's our first time we've got a guest that we're recording.
Yeah.
Me and Connor together in a room with a guest on there.
This is sick.
Dylan,
really cool.
How have you been?
Sorry, I can't. What did you say?
How have you? What did you say? We're off to a really good start. How have you been?
Oh, mate, since we last spoke, my life is like very different. I think we spoke. Was it September, October?
Yeah, it's been about 6 months.
Something like that. I think it was Town Called Mercy. I think we did last of you.
Yeah, A Town Called Mercy was the last one. But I dropped out of university, and then went to film school. I have a job at the cinema. I just go out a lot more. Life's pretty good, I'm feeling a lot better than I once was.
We have a happy Dylan.
That's awesome, man. That's so great.
Good to hear. You know what that needs? That needs, if I can find it, I should have queued this up.
Cheer?
Yeah, it's a cheer.
Woo!
Yeah, cheer. Go, Dylan.
All the buttons
there we go.
all over the place for this episode.
There's so much going on.
The buttons are all over today.
I feel like I've got all the tech.
What's sticking to press?
I've got all the technology and no idea how to use it right now. That's exactly what's going on.
Oh God, I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about The Caretaker, which is Series 8, Episode 6. Yeah. So Dylan's got some thoughts on that, as do we. So let's do it. Welcome to the 50% Doctor Who podcast. We talk about Doctor Who Most of the time.
Probably even more than 50 these days.
Yeah, like 80-20.
It doesn't really help with the title, does it? But,
But you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50doctor.
Yo.
And you can watch the video footage where you can see us, this time joined by Dylan, over on the YouTube channel at the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Baby, let's hear that wonderful sting that we so love to hear.
50 podcast. Can I also say, I'll talk about it a little bit more near the end, but you can also follow 50% OOC, which is the 50% out of context Twitter page, which I just started today. I haven't uploaded on it yet, but by the time this comes out, there will be like daily posts on there. So you can follow 50% OOC, which is out of context, or 50% out of context.
Not to be confused with 50% The OC. The 50% The OC podcast. You know, like the TV show, The OC?
No, wait, that's a thing?
Yeah, it's a TV show, right?
The OC.
The OC.
Orange County, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's like One Tree Hill or something.
So,
One Tree... Okay, I can't... Look, I can change it if it
you
helps,
said it now.
But I've said it, so I can't. So this is a live show, baby. It's 50% OOC. You can follow it.
Not the 50% OOC podcast.
No.
Because that would be us talking about the OC
Yes.
50% of the time.
I'm so confused.
Wait, this isn't the show where we talk about the OC?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
OC. I do remember that show, actually.
That's
it
what
has
everyone's
nothing to do with
calling
OC. It is just
What the
random
hell?
clips from the podcast. And it's a good way to get traction, I'm hoping. Probably not. Let's
I love
find
it.
out.
The Caretaker is the 6th episode of the 8th series of the British science fiction television program Doctor Who. It was first broadcast on BBC One on the 27th of September 2014. Written by Gareth Roberts, dear lord, and Stephen Moffat, and directed by Paul Murphy. In the episode, the Doctor goes under deep cover as the caretaker of Coal Hill School, the workplace of his companion Clara, to stop a world-threatening robot nearby called the Skullvox Blitzer. The Doctor also comes into conflict with Clara'S boyfriend, former soldier, Danny Pink. Whoa, did you guys know Danny is a soldier?
I didn't know.
Wow.
They
They
did.
won't stop going on about it.
They-
Shut up.
They didn't mention it once in the episode, so, I didn't know. God.
Man.
Christ.
Dylan, briefly, what's your overall thoughts on the Caretaker?
Nowhere near as bad as I remember it being, but it's still pretty shit. Like,
Good.
it's fine. It is fine. There are like a few things that are like not good, but apart from that, like it's fine. I hate the idea that this CBBC monster, like the Skullvox Blitzer, is a cartoon like monster, and they're like, oh, it's gonna destroy the world. I'm like, no, don't make it that. Just make it a silly monster who wants to like take over the school or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I feel like it features like Capaldi's worst performance as the Doctor.
It's a mixed one.
He doesn't
Interesting.
do anything bad, but you can tell he just didn't want to do the episode, and it was sort of something he had to do for the series. In my humble opinion.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
It's definitely like the script, I think, is the culprit of that in a way, because the script has a very conflicting performance from the 12th Doctor. It's like, he's he's just a dick. Like,
Yeah.
he's just not a good guy.
And it's not even that I don't even get the justification. It's like, since when did he... I kind of get the whole Gallifrey thing and, like, soldiers. But the hatred towards Danny was just so... It was just so
Yeah,
fiery.
it's way overboard.
Unjustified.
It was unjustified. It really was. Yeah. When that's not believable and that's pretty much part of the main plot, it's kind of hard to,
Yeah.
believe it all.
I like the idea of there being conflict between the Doctor and Danny, and then Clara's kind of caught in the middle. I think that's good. And the scenes where they are having some good conversations about that did work for me. It's just the reasoning behind the conversations, I think, felt like...
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
He's a soldier. Sure. Like, who cares?
Yeah, that is really odd. Yeah.
It's way overblown, and I feel like I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Like, isn't the Doctor friends with like the Brigadier and
Yeah,
a bunch
literally.
of unit soldiers? They are. I don't.
Worked
yeah,
at unit,
it's way
had
overblown.
Gallifrey, history.
Yates and Benson, they're all...
Kate Stewart, like Osgood,
Yeah,
they all work
like,
for
they're all
unit. It's
soldiers.
kind of, yeah. the Paternoster gang are pretty much fucking Victorian soldiers, pretty much. They solve shit and kill people. It's like, I don't know.
It's bizarre.
It's weird. Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Yeah. The script is probably the worst thing about the episode. I think everything else suffered because of the script. Is my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that there was an idea that featured like something happening to the Doctor, or something happens like around the Doctor because of a soldier, and this was meant to propel his like hatred to a new level, and like we just didn't get it? Or do you think it was just like a misunderstanding with the writing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. Hey,
I don't know.
It's hard to say. I feel like,
They kind of try and set that up a little bit at the beginning. It's like, I hate soldiers, don't you? And it's like, but then it's kind of like, it's not even like, but it's so quick and cheap.
Yeah.
And badly done.
Yeah, I wonder what the script was like before Moffat got involved.
That's another thing, because we were saying last week with Time Heist how Moffat jumped on the script, and I forgot he co-written this as well.
Yeah.
So this is what Pete was talking about when he said
maybe
you have to jump on a few.
Part of me thinks maybe he was always going to co-write this though, just because there's so much
that's true as well,
involvement
actually,
with Danny and stuff. So I don't know. It could be either.
It could be either or either.
What do you guys think of Danny?
I actually really like
Danny,
him.
yeah.
I like him a lot.
I really like him.
I didn't know that he had all this. That was all news to me when you told me that so many people disliked him.
Yeah.
I always actually, but the actor was in Gavin and Stacey, so I had actually seen him and stuff before, so it was a bit more welcoming for me watching it, because I had seen him in one of my favorite TV shows, which I'm actually watching Gavin and Stacey at the moment, so it was weird. I saw him in that, and then I literally watched Caretaker. I love that show. He's not in it a lot, but he's in it, so I've actually always liked him, though his character is a bit hollow, but I think he has a really cool arc in season 8, I think.
He does, yeah.
And it ends really cool.
I really like him standing up to Pete. That scene I thought was really good. Even though the Doctor was just being a dick, I thought Danny standing up to him was really good. And the whole like, yes, sir! Yeah, that whole thing.
Right now, sir? Cool. Yeah, it's like he has every right to be like fucked off. The Doctor's just being an absolute dickhead.
Yeah.
For like no reason at all.
What do you think of Danny, Dylan?
I think I really like him. Like I remember watching this when I was like 14 at the time, and all my friends and like everyone I followed on Twitter hated him. I can't think why now. I feel like I don't know exactly why people hated him, but I really like him. I think it's a more interesting take to have a companion, or not a companion, but a character who doesn't really like the Doctor, but he was going out with someone who is, friends with the Doctor, which is something we haven't really seen since like Jackie in series 1.
Yeah, like Mickey and stuff.
Martha's family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. I wish he came on board the TARDIS.
That would have been cool.
For like at least one adventure.
Yeah,
Big Finish, make it happen.
Yeah, Big Finish, make it happen. Maybe if we didn't have Courtney in the next one and we had Danny come on or something, could have been.
Yeah, I guess Courtney comes on to kill the moon. Hey?
But I like Courtney as well.
Yeah.
Well, I
like Courtney.
Oh, Courtney.
I like Courtney. Yeah, I like her. I think. I wish she was a companion as well. The four of those I feel like would have been really cool.
She also, I remember her getting so much hate, and I actually think she's kind of funny. Like, I kind of vibed it, because I'm like, in this episode where you don't really have much to go off, and it sucks because when we started season 8 on the rewatch for the podcast, I was like, this series slaps, and I'm starting to slowly lose faith a little bit.
So am I.
So that kind of blows, but seeing stuff like her character actually, which is something I hated in the past, it was a nice surprise to actually kind of like, do you still hate her? Because you're looking at me like you still hate her.
I've not warmed up to her yet. That maybe I will next week, but so far she's still just
she's vomiting
annoying kid territory for me.
She's coming on adventures and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can I just say, don't hate me, guys, but I actually like this episode.
Did you?
I've always liked it, because I just watched it at the right place at the right time. I went on holiday to a place called Margaret River here in WA, one of my favourite places on earth. I went away with my best friend at the time, still a good friend of mine now, and we were both just watching the show week by week, and It was an episode that I watched on like a Saturday night. We're in a little cabin in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. There's a fire going, and we just chucked on ABC One and watched it live. And I just had a distinct, great memory of just watching it.
That's fine.
I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So
Yeah, that's great.
I can see the issues with it, but this is definitely an episode I just enjoy, even though I can see all the faults of even the school. Is it the Skolvex Bliss? Skolvax?
The Skolvex
Skolvex
Blitzer?
Which is apparently the most fucking accurate aim on Earth and misses every shot that it fires. It literally misses everything it shoots at, and this is what bugged me about Time Heist, how it's meant to be this like insanely like the most protective prison bank on Earth, and it's like they're hyping it up to be these things, and it doesn't deliver at all. But still really love it.
I did like the prop for the Skolvex Blitzer. I thought, like, I know it looks like a CBeebies thing, but I still
it does look cool.
I still think it's great. Maybe it would have been more fitting in the Sarah Jane Adventures or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, I do like it. It reminds me of like a classic Who villain. Like I feel like we haven't had a robot in ages. Like just a silly robot who like kill, whatever. Bring those back. I want more silly robots.
Bring back
none
the
of this.
kill
I want to take over the world. Just a robot.
Funny robot. Yeah. Nah, it's fun. It was at the Doctor Who experience, and it looked really cool when we went, and it looked awesome. So I've always really liked the design as well.
Yeah. Dylan, off topic. We'll come back to the Caretaker shortly. Ncuti Gatwa. Where are you with Ncuti Gatwa? What's your thoughts?
I'm very excited. I'm very happy with his casting. You know, it's one of the. I think you guys said it before, but it's definitely a casting that you see it and you're like, wait, what? Him? And then you think about it and you're like, oh no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know everybody thinks he's gonna like the people who hated against the casting and people who are loving it are like, is he gonna be like Eric in Sex Education? I really highly doubt he's gonna play the Doctor as Eric. I think we're going to go for a completely different take on the Doctor. It wouldn't surprise me if he was a lot darker than we're expecting. But yeah, also I think it's genius casting by the team, because this is like the sort of thing that will propel Doctor Who back into like the spotlight, because you have a massive star who's going to be in like the Barbie film and some other films I can't remember off the top of my head, and he's in one of the biggest Netflix shows.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know like the term stunt casting?
The term what?
Stunt casting.
No.
Enlighten us.
So stunt casting is where you, in a sitcom, you cast a famous person to basically bring people into said sitcom. So they have Lady Gaga in The Simpsons. The show Community parodies it by having Jack Black in an episode. And I feel like what they've done, and I mean this in a good way, not in a bad way, is they've stunt casted Ncuti Gatwa as the next Doctor. This is not me saying he's not talented, because he is, but they've stunt casted him to gain more traction to the show.
Yeah.
And also, this means we could pretty much have like anyone to be the next Doctor after him if all goes to plan. I think it's really good casting. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, it's like a combination of that. Yasmin, is it Yasmin Fenny? Is that her name?
Yes, Yasmin Finney. Who's
who's playing Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's obviously sort of a breaking out star in a way. Like, she's quite big on TikTok, and then obviously Heartbreaker. Is that the
I think it's
Heartstopper?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Heartstopper is incredible. That show's so good.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but that's gaining so much traction.
It's very good.
And then obviously with DT back and Catherine Tate back, it's like they're really appealing to such a large audience with this new series.
They really are.
So it's going to be awesome to see.
I can't wait to see it, honestly.
Yeah, where are you with the whole David Tennant coming back kind of thing?
I have a theory. So from what I know, from what like the rumors are, is there's going to be a bunch of specials, which would make sense, right? So I think my theory is that Jodie is going to not regenerate, but regenerate into David Tennant. But he's not going to be 14. He's going to be 13.5, and it's going to be a glitch in the regeneration. I think the first special will end with his face changing into Matt Smith.
Wait.
Then at the end of At the end of Matt Smith's special, he will change into Capaldi, and at the end of Capaldi's special, he will briefly change back into Jodie, who will then regenerate into Ncuti, and then we'll get a series either tail end of next year or the early 2024.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I could see something like that happening because they have to do the 60th somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't see them just bringing back Dave, and maybe we're all talking shit. Maybe that will just be what it is.
Yeah.
But I do have the feeling that Matt and Peter will.
I'm so curious
come back
because surely that's all going to have to be announced in the next.
They would.
You know, like if they film Matt's one, you know, maybe this David one takes a month to film, which means in like 3 or 4 weeks we then get a Matt announcement, and then like 3 or 4 weeks after that we get a Pete announcement, and it's like. You're not really doing the whole we're gonna shut up and not talk about it and let Jodie do their thing, you know? That's gonna be hard.
Like, it's just impossible now with just like look at how much shit came out from the set leaks and stuff. Like it's literally impossible now to do that. Unless it's all like studio bound, like something like Bryan Cranston, Aaron Paul doing like Better Call Saul season 6. There was no leaks from that, but that's because I assume it was all like studio bound. Like
they also film in the middle of the desert, the desert half the time, whereas Doctor Who's like middle of London,
in the middle of like London. So like it's gonna cause some attention.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there. It's got to be something like that. I'm just so excited to see what they do. I'm so keen.
It feels
excited.
I feel like if what I've said is the case, I kind of wish that they hired like the best directors for David, rather than I do love Rachel Talalay, but rather than her, get either Graham Harper or Eros Lynn.
Yeah, I agree.
For Matt Smith, I'm not really too familiar with his big directors, so I can't really comment.
Dylan, there isn't any big directions for Matt Smith.
Oh, okay.
That's what we found doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Let's just say Douglas McKinnon. Let's just get him on for Matt. And then for Capaldi, get Talalay back.
Yeah.
Like, do it like that. Have each episode feel like a part of that era.
Yeah.
And then push us into a new one. Yeah.
Which does make you think, if they are bringing back all the Doctors, I don't know if that necessarily adds up, because surely the thing would be, if Pete was coming back, then Rachel would be directing that episode. I feel like that's the
unless she's doing all of them.
Unless she's doing all of them, or scheduling was in the way, or Rossa was just like, no, fuck it, I don't want to do that.
It is a big name to start with. Again, I mean, like, you know, sadly, I don't know if you know, as many people know like Graham Harper anymore. Probably just like old, like dedicated fans like us. Like Rachel's probably maybe like a bigger person that's more fresh in people's minds to bring back.
Maybe.
Unless they are just switching it all up and doing something different. I don't know. I don't know.
They should get the director for Legends of the Sea Devils. That would be incredible.
Fucking hell.
Stop it, Dylan. Stop it.
Have you rewatched that have you watched it
No.
once? Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, fuck that. That's terrible.
I rewatched it with Dan like when we were sent, and it was just, and I honestly like noticed so much more stuff.
Yeah.
It's like fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Isn't it weird how like the last time since we've spoke, you guys have reviewed all of Series 7 Part 2, you've reviewed all of Flux, you've reviewed like an entire series of Torchwood, did a few Classic Who episodes, and like so much stuff has happened in between.
Yeah, we've been busy. We keep busy, I think.
It's harder to get guests on now. One, in terms of like the setup, and two, like the amount of you know, it's going to take longer to do in post and stuff, and then also like it restricts us in terms of when we can record as well, because we've got to work around 3 people's schedules.
Yeah, it's the first time we've filmed on Monday in ages.
Yeah, we usually do Thursdays, but that's purely because I want the extra time to do.
That's fair enough.
Post. What did we think of Clara in The Caretaker? No comment from anybody.
She looks really nice in it. She looks great in it. She looks really nice.
But as a character,
yeah.
As a character, she looks nice as well.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah. She's her character did kind of annoy me in the episode a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't mind it. It was the part where the truth finally came out about the doctor, and
not
she's
the
like,
play.
"It's a play,"
No, that's
and I
so
was like,
cringe.
"Don't be dumb. Like,
That's
this
so
is not gonna
cringe.
work." I'm so glad that Danny didn't go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah,
like
no,
if they
that's
put it off, that
that's,
would have.
that's so shit.
Oof.
I hate that.
But not a fan of Clara.
Clara is... I don't mind her in this episode. I think she is a little bit jarring, but I think it's kind of justified considering what's going on around her. But the good stuff is all with Danny. Like, Danny carries this episode. You know, Clara's fine. I like the way she bickers with the doctor when she's in the classroom and he's, like, at the window.
That was funny.
She gets like.
And she gets like really angry at him, and like all the kids just turn to her. I think that's a really good moment. But you are right. The whole "it's a play" is kind of annoying. Can you imagine if Danny was like, "Oh yeah, sure," and then like it gets to like Death in Heaven, Dark Water, where he's a sideman. Is like, "Is this part of the play?
Is it part of the play?
Is this still part of the play?"
That's like literally when I remember when I first watched this, even really like it. I was like, that scene I hated that, and I was so glad he didn't go along with it. But it is really cool to see Coal Hill though. That is really sick.
It is, yeah, just setting up the best spin-off in the
Class
world.
spin-off.
Class.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which the whole
Class.
place gets moved to like a college. Yeah, that's right. I really like the directing though. I thought it was so much more inspired than the fucking script. It felt like it was really trying. It was the guy from I think it's the guy from Robot Sherwood.
Let's
I think.
find out. So this was Paul
Yeah,
Murphy. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. Because
Robot of Sherwood. I feel like you guys were way too harsh. I really liked that episode, man.
Sorry.
I feel like you guys were way too harsh. I'd give that episode a 7. Like,
yeah, okay.
Wow, really? Shit.
yeah, I really like it.
It was fun.
I think I gave it a 6. You know, that's pretty nice.
What about? Have you heard us talk about Time Heist yet? Because I know you wanted to come on that one.
Yeah, I did, and then I rewatched the episode, and I'm kind of glad it didn't come on because, it's no good. It's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that aged badly. I feel like
Yeah. It felt really good at the time, and then like
weirdly
afterwards,
yeah.
it's just yeah.
It feels like it's setting up some weird X-Men style spin-off, like, and then it just goes nowhere. You know, with like Psy, you know, Gundam style, and
Yeah, they never came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone always thought they'd come back and there'd be like some recurring characters every season, and then they never did. That was always so weird.
Yeah.
But that episode, that just didn't age very well. But this one, I feel like I always just have a weird place in my heart for it, even though I can just tell this just doesn't really go anywhere.
It's a light-hearted romp. Like,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It is a good fun watch.
It's a good way. It's a good way of putting it. Yeah. It was just you know when you just sometimes you just watch movies or you happen to just go to the cinema or like just watch an episode of something and just at the right place at the right time, and you always remember that time in your head when you first watched it.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about this. It's fucking what's his name's last episode? Gareth Roberts. Gareth Roberts. Yeah.
Thank the maker.
Yeah.
So it's his last episode.
He made the Doctor so dumb. Like that
Yeah.
part where
Yeah.
he's like, no, you have to be a PE teacher. That just doesn't compute. Like, and he's like, he can't compute that a soldier can be a math teacher. Like, it's.
Yeah, that's really strange.
Yeah.
it's very strange. There's a lot of strange things in this episode. Like, I don't know. I'm glad he's gone because he's just. I feel like as well. Surely there was a meeting at the beginning of every new era that is like, here is the Doctor. This is what we're going for.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like he just wasn't invited to that meeting, which is why Capaldi acts so out of character. Like,
Yeah.
because he's so different in this episode compared to the others. It's very weird.
Yeah, well, we got some hot goss coming up soon about,
there is hot
about
goss,
that
hey.
in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Gareth Roberts just not understanding the character of the Doctor. And it's so weird because you'd imagine that he, you know, if he's disagreeing with how the Doctor should be and trying to write it his own way, it's like, but you're now, in doing that, in making your episode sound the same. I'm going to restart this whole fucking sentence. In writing your episode and making the Doctor sound like you think he should sound like, you're then making him a completely different Doctor than in the other 11 episodes of the series. So you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that, you know?
Exactly.
It's very silly time.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to Australia's favourite segment, guys?
Let's do it.
It's time for Goof of the Week.
God damn.
It's been a while since we've had a good Goof of the Week.
Yeah, I think we had the same one, actually.
I got a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have any, Dylan? Any goofs?
Okay.
Yeah, I have a big goof.
Big
My
goof?
SD card has run out of storage, so I can't record on my camera anymore.
Okay, well, we got you on here.
We got you this,
if
yeah.
the camera just suddenly shifted to a shit camera, that's why. Well, it's not shit. It's actually fine.
That's
But
the biggest goof this week.
the biggest goof is Dylan.
Apart from that, no, I don't have any goofs.
Okay, well, Goof of the Week is the segment where we like to just take the piss kindly out of the show, of any little silly production errors. These things happen.
Because we love
So-
Doctor Who.
so
We take
easy.
it easy on the show.
Even in like my film at the moment, we're VFXing out a camera battery light that's reflecting off of a wall. Like, this stuff happens so easily. It is so dumb.
Oh my god. Wow.
Connor, what is your Goof of the Week?
It's like, I don't know if this is like something that I just picked up on, but I swear I heard you mention it before. When the Skorvax Blitzer, or the fuck it's called, shoots through the stack of chairs, I swear there's like a chair that's hovering. Every time I look at it.
I just think that's funny, though. I think that was like a silly, oh, look at it, we've made like a perfect circle.
Yeah, I
hole.
know, but like, come on. That fucker would have flown off.
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking goofs here, aren't we? We're talking...
You're the goof.
Production errors.
You're the
it,
goof.
It sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't know. That's it. This is why I always remember it, because you always said it was like that, and I always said, no, I think it's fucking stupid. It generally looks like they made a mistake. I think they did.
Okay, Connor.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay.
Okay, Zoomer.
Sure.
I got two goofs.
Dylan's a
actually
Zoomer.
here. Two lovely little goofs. So one is that when Courtney comes to take the paper towels from Pete, he gives them to Courtney, and at the end of the scene, he has them in his hand again and walks back to the TARDIS with them in his hand.
Jesus, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Continuity error.
how did that even happen? And unless it's
Yeah.
like she, like off camera, or like
Took
it
a
just got
few,
cut, took a few out, put
and
it in a
then walked
pocket, and
away.
gave him
Right.
back the rest of it. But it doesn't really look like anything like that happened. So it's a bit weird.
Okay.
It's a bit weird. My second one is when the Blitzer blitzes, I don't know, when they blow up the Blitzer, whatever the fuck you want to say, its eyes turn off, and then when they put it out into space, and it's like just twirling out into space at the end, the eyes are blue again,
I see.
where it should have no eyes on, which is like,
Yeah.
that's just.
Oh, what did
Just
you
silly.
guys think of the front flip? I remember thinking that was so
Oh,
lame.
I think it's lame.
even when I first
I
watched
like
it.
silly, goofy shit like this, but that was just too.
And it
Yeah.
misses. It, again, the Skorvax fucking Blitzer, who's meant to have, again, the most accurate aim. Misses
needed to
Danny
be-
flying through the air.
It needed to be
over
more
it.
like, follow me, or something. He's like, Skovax, come for me, and then he runs through the school. Meanwhile, they're trying to get the contraption to work, because it was like he bought them like 2 seconds more time by doing the flip.
Yeah.
He needed to properly distract it and put his life a bit more on the line.
It doesn't even run up much, and the fucker like flips so high. He
Crazy.
like he defines gravity.
Yeah.
He just flips. It looks so stupid. Oh my god, I love it.
You know
Oh Jesus.
what I really did find funny in this episode, and maybe I feel like some people probably find it cringe, but I thought it was funny, was the teacher that looked like Matt Smith.
Yeah. That
Oh
was
yeah,
fun.
that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
it was
and
fun.
and like Pete just like following them around, just like really
It
overbearingly.
would make sense that he would think that he was her boyfriend. It's like, you know, she fancied Matt, well, the Doctor, the 11th Doctor, so it makes sense that she'd find someone like him. It's really like, she's like, I don't know if it's a joke, but she's like, he's not my type, and it's like, wait, what? Like, she looks like Matt Smith, is like dressed just like him,
Yeah.
similar hair, so it's a bit
the
curly.
bow tie.
And the bow tie. Yeah, I kind of froth this episode even though it's shit. I'm like, give it to me. I kind of love it.
It's like the policeman when he gets shot and he's like, ah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's funny though. Like that's
what
it's
I mean,
intentional.
though.
I think.
It's like, I kind of love, or you Colwell kids, you get back to school. Do you want me to write your names down? I love this shit. It kind of took me back to like an RTD era kind of
Yeah.
episode. And I kind of like that.
It's definitely a soapier episode of a Moffat series because he's not too soapy.
Yeah. And we get a little Missy cameo at the end.
We do. She obviously wasn't available to film properly with the actors.
Yeah,
I think I read that somewhere ages ago that she wasn't free, and so that's why the other bloke filled in, and she's just on like a green screen. I think.
You can really tell. That's,
I think maybe.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah. So wait, Connor, you have made our little emoji,
Octomoody.
Octomoody. For our audio listeners, this is Pete. This is Pete, our octopus who has a facial expression that changes every week, depending on how we feel about the episode. Connor, you've made it angry this week.
Yeah.
I thought you said you liked the episode.
Yeah, but I knew you two fuckers would come on and be like, this is shit, so...
No, it's
I can respect the fact that you guys weren't going to like it, and that's 2 over 1, so...
His middle ground
I feel like that is better representation. Something in the middle. You know?
There you go. Okay.
A little bit angry, a little bit happy.
It's like me every day. A
We're like...
angry, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels good, and then we flip over, and we're like, it's Gareth Roberts.
Okay.
And it goes angry.
Yeah,
that's the plan there.
I'm sure you can all see my, where I was going for with that, but I respect it.
Yeah.
The middle. Okay.
Yeah. Stuck in the
Been
middle
called
with you. You know, fixing up last week's episode, which was like a bonkers episode towards the end, the amount of singing we did was pretty incredible, I think. I liked our rendition of Blue.
Yeah, that when I put that I haven't done it yet. When I post on Instagram, I'm gonna chuck when I always post on the story, I'm gonna put the fucking song playing in the background.
Blue
da da dee da. I reckon we.
Oh god, it's happening again.
I reckon.
Surely that should be an out of context clip then.
Oh, I've already done that. I swear on my life, I actually I've already got 3 ready to go. I got them in a file on my phone, so I do have that. I always wondered if like we ever release like an original album, like it starts with the 50-50. The last track on the album could be the
outro.
I thought we could do like a live version of the opening song. Like I could do like an a cappella version or something. We could add like the I'm Blue. We could chuck Vinny's cover of the
look at us.
Song for 10. I think we could get like
we need to do a musical episode, like a full musical episode.
Did you say friends who have like pressed vinyls? We
could
chuck that shit on vinyl.
God. No one's going to buy a vinyl of fucking that shit.
I love you guys, but even I wouldn't buy that vinyl. Come on, that's not happening.
You need that in your vinyl collection.
Dylan turns the podcast off whenever we do the fucking outro. He's not going to buy a vinyl of it.
If you're ever having a Dylan party, you can chuck it on.
I've actually stopped doing it. I actually watch it all the way to the end now.
Wow.
Right, it still makes me cringe, but I'll ride it out. It's fine.
If it makes you cringe, you should see how we feel when we do it. It's just like
sometimes we love it, sometimes
fest.
we hate it. It's got end credit scenes though. Like there's always something at the end.
We just keep it.
I think it also helps Spotify algorithms if you listen to the whole thing. So if you do that, I love you forever.
Papa bless you.
Papa bless.
Let's move on to our second and final segment for today, guys. We're going to peel back the curtain on the episode and talk a little bit about behind the scenes. Sorry, I keep muting it instead of just turning it down because, good lord, that shit's loud right now.
King.
So let's talk about a little bit behind the scenes facts. There's actually not a massive amount, but what there is
juicy.
Is a bit saucy, a bit salty, a bit of taste. If you like a bit of drama, then this is the place for you.
I'm keen, actually.
The first thing that I want to say is there's a theory out there. This could either be a goof or a theory. So, apparently, by this point in the show, after 5 episodes, Danny and Clara Danny and Clara have been dating for like possibly a year, which doesn't really feel right. It doesn't feel right. You know why though? Is because when Danny sits down for the parent-teacher interview with Courtney's parents, he goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but she's what does he say? He like says,
"Oh, it's like, but you." she's quite destructive, and it's like, but last year you said she was.
But last year you said that she was a very disruptive influence.
Right, so it has
So
been a year.
last year
he joined Coal Hill in Into a Dalek.
Yeah, which is when him and Clara first started to establish dating. But now he's saying that he worked there last year, so this has to be set a year after Into the Dalek.
And she says,
Mental.
I love you, which is like, I remember seeing in the episode being like, that's quite soon, but that makes sense now.
Well,
they've been together for a year.
But yeah, I think it's more of a goof. I feel like
it's a long time to wait.
I feel like it's Gareth Roberts being an idiot. But
yep, the man's leaving.
Speaking of Gareth Roberts,
so it's about to get juicy.
Couple of different sources here, guys. Let's put on your seatbelts. It's gonna be a fire ride. Get your fire extinguishers going. Let's do this. So,
here come the flames.
Bearing in mind, this is all stuff that's kind of rumors from some reliable sources. Like, there's evidence of this stuff out there, but there's no strict thing from the BBC saying that this shit did happen. So it's take it with not a grain of salt. Take it with a good crumb of salt. Okay. I don't know. It's your chips are salty.
A pinch.
So our first source here on What Culture, which, like I said, isn't the best source, but like they say that there's a rumor that Roberts got into a major falling out with Capaldi on the set of The Caretaker due to some inappropriate behavior on the writer's part. We'll back that up further in a second. So now, jumping over onto another post. So this was from Reddit that had sources from Twitter that were reliable, because in a series of now deleted tweets, Robert ranted about the state of the show, blaming Stephen Moffat for ruining the show with the new direction and Peter Capaldi for butchering his script. These tweets were taken down pretty quickly, and there was no official response from the BBC, Capaldi, or Moffat, but the damage had been done. After 7 years of having at least one episode in almost every season of Doctor Who, Roberts hasn't written for the show since. In addition, all his TV writing since 2014 has been for the BBC's rival channel, ITV, leading many people to suspect that he's been quietly blacklisted from the BBC as a liability.
Yeah, blacklisted.
And there is also, I saw somewhere that I think a little bit after this, there was a BBC book that he was supposed to write, but very quickly was taken off. It was like a Doctor Who anthology book that he was meant to write one of the stories in it, and he got taken off of that like pretty quick. Whether or not it was like the publishers brought him on and then the BBC were like, no, you can't do that shit. I don't know. And then another source says there have been persistent rumors that Capaldi and Roberts had a major argument behind the scenes during the production of Series 8. So this kind of backs up that first point from What Culture on Series 8. And that a lot of people put it down to Roberts' very vocal transphobia.
Wow, even on set?
And Pete's a big advocate for gay rights and LGBT.
Christ, even on set he was saying that shit?
Apparently so.
Fuck, I thought it was just through his like tweets and stuff. God damn.
Just not a nice person, really.
No,
clearly.
Do you guys know about Doctor Who 2000?
Oh. That like rings a bell.
Yeah.
But enlighten us.
So, I think it was like the late 90s. I think it was Gareth Roberts and Mark Gatiss wanted to basically bring back Doctor Who. And so they came up with this pitch called Doctor Who 2000, which was going to be like 27 episodes, each 30 minutes long, basically bringing the classic series into the new era. And I think Gareth Roberts was going to head write it. There was two companions. One was from the future, one was from the past. And they were going to I think they were going to remake some stories, kind of like the American version of the show that was planned. I just wonder what it would have been like had Gareth Roberts have been in charge of a series of Doctor Who.
Well, he does a lot of. Sorry, yeah, he does a lot of Sarah Jane.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of like. Sorry, Dan, just a little lag.
No, it's okay.
No, I think because kind of like how Chibnall does a lot of Torchwood. I think Gareth Roberts does a lot of he does all the trickster stories, which everyone kind of loves, which is a shame. But he does all those stories, yeah.
The difference in Gareth Roberts' Sarah Jane Adventures and Chris Chibnall's Torchwood is that Robert's Sarah Jane adventures are like mostly fine, whereas Chibnall's Tortured is like they're like really good. Like he has some really great episodes.
In season 2 he does.
You know, there's obviously Countryside. The one I forget what it's called. Adrift. Adrift is so good.
I think I remember that one.
Good.
Yeah, that's just before that's the third last episode. Yeah, that's just before like everything starts to wrap up. Yeah, that is really good. Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's interesting because, I don't know. Okay, I kind of question why they keep hiring people like this to write on seasons. Like there's episodes even like
they probably don't know.
Pretty shit.
To be fair, they probably don't know. Like you can't anticipate what someone's going to be like when hiring them until they get on set and start, being nasty towards people. Yeah. They probably just didn't know,
Didn't know it was a shit bloke.
Yeah, maybe it all just came out. It to be fair, it does seem like this was kind of like it kind of all imploded on this story. Like,
yeah, a lot
of it kind of all just came out.
Yeah,
it feels like
there's been such like a ongoing trait doing this podcast and reading behind the scenes, and Gareth Roberts pissing off David on the Shakespeare Code. It obviously wasn't a big scrap, but David being like, I'm not stripping off in this scene, whatever it was that happened there.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
That was bizarre stuff. So thank God he's gone and we don't have to talk about him ever again.
Yeah, that's it. He's done.
Yay.
He's done. It's hard when you do stuff like this on the show because I know people can get a bit upset, but it's also like, reviewing the show, gotta talk about it.
Yeah,
so,
you have to talk about these things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
something that does upset me about this whole situation is like whenever something comes out about like an actor or a writer in the show, people immediately turn their heads towards the head writers. So like when the Noel Clarke and John Barrowman things came out, everyone was like, "Oh, did Russell know?" And I'm like, if I don't feel like Russell would have let this stuff go on set. Same with Stephen Moffat and Gareth Roberts. I don't like the idea that we immediately point the blame towards these showrunners who might not even be on set half the time.
Yeah,
like,
they cop all the blame for pretty much everything, even when a lot of the time it's not even like their fault.
There's a lot of factors. Can you imagine like Moffat, like he's sat either in a script meeting for like the end of series A, or he's like in the editing booth looking at like Deep Breath and stuff, and then all of a sudden like who's the director again? It's Paul Murphy is like, Stephen, we're gonna need to get you to set here. Peter Capaldi and Gareth Roberts have just had a fucking bust up. Like, can you imagine? That's.
And I wonder what do you know what episode slot this was filmed in? Was it near the end or the beginning of? Because he might have been at the end of this
This
season.
is the beginning.
Sorry, I'm giving you all this work.
This was one of the first ones they filmed.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if it would have been like. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what kind of slate they filmed it in because.
What order? Yeah. Yeah, I will get you that very, very shortly.
But it's a shame. But I know people tend to focus on the negatives, and I think it's such a But I don't know. I guess also like it really is a huge show for everyone in like many communities. So I think when the show does let them down, I think they feel it a lot more than other shows.
Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, and this is a little bit off topic. But when you asked me about Ncuti, the thing that has made me really excited to see him as the Doctor was in the BAFTA interviews. He said that Doctor Who is a show where everyone can escape, and he was like, "What Doctor Who does for marginalised groups is really important to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, he gets it." Like,
he definitely gets it.
Doctor Who is.
Yeah, I was nothing but impressed by the way he handled the whole thing. I really do think he does get it.
Yeah. Just a little follow-up on that question. So, before The Caretaker was filmed, all 5 of the episodes before this had also been filmed in a mixed-up order, but this was the 6th episode to be filmed.
Okay.
So, really no excuse.
Okay, interesting. Wow. He was probably a bit more comfortable playing the character, at least, I think, and had some things to say. And we love Pete. There's another reason to love Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like,
I've got a mate that's like watching the Capaldi years for I don't think he's ever finished them. I think he'd watched the first 2 seasons kind of passively, but he's watching them now sort of for the first time properly, and he's like loving it. And he's a big David fanboy, so he's kind of finally been like, okay, this is a Doctor that he's not going to beat David, but he's like second. He's up there, and he's rivaling him a little bit, you know. And it's so good that people are really embracing Pete these days.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's definitely an era that gets better with time.
Definitely. Embrace the Pete. Yeah. That's all we got to say.
Embrace the era, you know.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on the episode before we give a final score?
I liked the directing. I thought it was good.
It didn't stand out to me. Like it was good, but
the swoops through the.
There was and there was that like first person bit when the Doctor was
POV
invisible.
was
the
nice.
Classic GIF where he twists his watch and he goes invisible.
Mm-hmm. I liked. I liked the directing. I thought it was good.
Fair.
I thought it was good. That's really all I got to say actually.
That it from you, Dylan?
mean, I don't really have anything else to. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Why did you want to come on for this episode?
I didn't. I wanted to come on to time.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Of course. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Well, to be fair, you probably wouldn't have much to say about last week's episode either because we fucking didn't have anything to say about it at all.
You just wouldn't have listened. You just wouldn't have seen me slowly losing my fucking mind throughout the course of the
Good
episode.
To be fair.
I can't imagine what In the Forest of the Night is going to be like.
Oh, God. We're just going to be like...
Yeah.
This the whole fucking episode.
Just slumped.
Getting smashed for that one, I reckon.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's a sober show, actually, which is the first time in a while. So look at us go.
Wow.
On the waters.
It's so good. Meanwhile, Dylan, it's like midday here, and it's midday in the UK, and he's fucking pissed, right? Look at him.
Dylan loves the pub now, so he's onto it.
You did say you're going out more.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
On the Stellas.
Yeah. The Stellas. Fuck that.
Like, isn't Stella massive in the UK? I saw my dad used to drink in the UK. Stella.
Stella is like a joke. I don't know many people. When I think of Stella, I think of like, all right, let's go to the pub. Let's go watch the fucking football.
They used to call it wife beater. I think they still do. Yeah, wife beater. Which is terrible.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Let's hit me up with some scores for the Caretaker.
You're the guest, Dylan. You go first.
Oh fuck. Okay. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Wow.
Straight in the middle. There's stuff I like, but there's not enough stuff that I like to warrant it getting higher than a 5. And there's stuff I dislike, but not enough stuff that I dislike to warrant it go below 5. So straight in the middle, 5 out of 10.
No, that's fair. Where are you at, Connor?
7.
Fucking hell.
Fuck off.
I like it. I always have. And I like the directing. So.
You're a bizarre... Connor, you're there like... One of your favourite movies is The Lighthouse. And then you're like, The Caretaker's a solid 7.
Fucking love The Lighthouse. That's like a masterpiece. It's so great.
I'm gonna... Oh, that's not right. Sorry, I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Okay.
Because I think it's a little bit more fun than Time Heist was last week, and I really enjoy what they did for Danny's character. But then the character work of the Doctor and the Clara kind of suffered because like it just wasn't gelling, the three of them, what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And the villain is obviously very sidelined, but that's kind of not the point of the episode, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't always have to be a great big villain of the week. I don't know, my neck just twitched like crazy. Did you see me like do this fucking...
I did, but I got an out of context thing now, so thanks.
You're going to have me do a head twitch for an out of context video?
I'm getting everything. I like...
Oh, I can't wait.
How many times for this episode I'm like, ooh.
Oh, that's... He twitched funny. Oh, he stuffed up that word. No, that's you. You're taking down notes for like every dumb shit that I do, and that's going to be an out of context.
It's not just you, it's me as well. I out of context myself. I meme myself as well. It's not just you. I can meme myself.
Oh man.
Meme myself and I.
Meme myself? That's a lame one.
I had a question, but I can't fucking remember. Sorry.
Oh, good hosting.
Yeah,
I need
to work on my I need to work on my fucking interviewing skills. I'm a bit sloppy.
Dylan, what's your question? This is how bad we are at interviewing. Dylan's got a fucking question for us.
My question is towards Connor. Have you listened to Doctor Who Redacted yet?
Nah,
oh my god, yes.
I haven't actually. Which sucks.
What are you doing?
Dylan, have you heard the latest episode?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think coming from a perspective of someone who doesn't really care for no offense to people who do, but I can't get into Big Finish. I just can't do it. but because the episodes are so short and they're so well written, it's so easy to listen to. I think every episode has been good.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are weaker are like, still better than what's currently on Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And the characters are great.
Very good.
I would love Cleo Proctor to become a companion at some point.
Yeah.
And then the other two girls, I like the idea of them joining UNIT and becoming like part of a UNIT spin-off. I just think it's really good.
Yeah.
Really good show.
It's crazy, and the cliffhangers are always really great, and like this week's cliffhanger was great. It was, there's been a few cliffhangers that have been a bit like, oh, here's another returning face and things like that. But this one was like a solid like character piece of a cliffhanger, and it was really great, and I really felt for it. Like characters are going through some stuff. I won't say too much, but like and people are kind of splitting up, and it's
I've heard nothing but amazing things, and the writer/director was so lovely. And I said this when we spoke about it as well. Probably the only nice thing I said about Doctor Who audio was I think it's great whenever something like this comes out for Doctor Who, as much as I meme on it. And I think, stuff like this gives actual writers of Doctor Who a bit of competition. Like, if an audio drama is doing this well, what's your excuse for having shit characters?
Russell's like, fuck, I better get to work.
Yeah, and, hire more people like that, I think. And the fact that BBC isn't one of the companions, like, trans?
Yeah, the main character.
That's great. Like, stuff like that is great. And, I think it's... I will. I'm sorry. I'm not at work next week. I'm at TAFE, which is like university, so I have time to listen to audio stuff. So I will check it out. I apologize. I know I said I would, and I didn't. I think even on the show, I was like, I'm saying I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
were
not.
like, don't worry. You were so confident.
Maybe even now,
yeah.
Pulling everyone's.
I'll literally believe it when I fucking see it, mate. If you come in next week and say I listened to an episode of Redacted, I will.
Too busy listening to Charlie Sloth on BBC. Is Charlie Sloth still on the radio, Dylan? In the UK?
Oh, Charlie Sloth. I don't listen to the radio, but Charlie Sloth has. Do you know about Fire in the Booth?
Yeah, he started that, didn't he?
Yeah. So, that was my shit. Like, that's what I grew up on. Is like Fire in the Booth and Charlie Sloth.
Yeah.
But since he moved to Apple, people he's not really been big over here.
Okay.
And also back in the day, he was like the peak of like upcoming UK artists and rappers and stuff. And now, not so much. But yeah, I love Charlie Sloth. What a guy.
When I went back to the UK in 2016, my cousins just listened to him all the time on the radio, and I was like, what in the world is this? Because it's it's so different to Australian radio. Charlie Sloth! I was like, what is this shit? It's crazy.
Dude, I went on BBC One,
Those radio hosts in the UK are nuts.
I went on to BBC One Radio just to have a listen like a week or two ago. And dude, oh my God, it just like got my heart racing. It was like... all the sound effects, like, Australian radio is just like,
it's so shit.
Hey, how you doing? Let's have a chat for 5 minutes. Play a song.
Blows.
Dude, this BBC radio was like, hey, what's up, yo?
Okay, we're here with a fresh jam. Yeah,
I'm not kidding. Every 3 seconds there was a bit of music.
Yeah.
Like, I could not believe it. And it wasn't like a song, like it was a sting that was part of the conversations that they were saying, It was too much. It was a sensory overload. I literally was like,
they talk through songs, which is so unheard of here. Like halfway through like a house song, they'll be like, and this is a fresh beat from so and so, and you're like, what? Is it done? And then it keeps going. Dude. It's not like you even finished it.
Freaked me out.
Crazy.
The worst thing they do over here is you'll be listening to a song, and the song will like quieten, and the DJ will go, hold tight, everyone in London right now. They'll do the whole like. Or they'll go like, shout out to Emily and Stacey, currently on the way out. I'm like, bro, I just want to listen to the song. Please shut up.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Alrighty, well, I think we'll call it there, shall we?
We're changing radio. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're changing the game with podcasts, baby. Let's go. We are the new Charlie Sloth.
The 50% podcasts.
50
I don't even know where this bit's going, to be honest. Yeah, 50.
The 50% OC podcast.
That's it. Tune in for the 50% OC podcast.
OC.
Where we talk about the OC.
I thought that was nifty. Now I feel like a fucking right twat.
Yeah. Punishment fits
You've
the
made a
crime.
right twat out of me. Thanks, guys. Don't
Everyone-
follow out of 50% OOC.
Thank you so much for listening and watching / however you are partaking in this experience. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. You can watch the video on the 50% Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel. Everyone, let's say a big thank you for our good friend Dylan coming on the show. Yo! We love Dylan.
Thank you.
We love ya. Yeah, baby.
We'll
Thanks
see you in season 9,
Pete.
Dylan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. In series 9. Anything you want to promote, plug? What do you... Anything?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel now that I recently started called
Good.
Dylan Corcoran Films. Dylan DYLAN Corcoran CORCORAN and then films, and I upload there whenever I can. That's it. Cool. Yeah.
Bagus. We like that.
Bagu Sakali.
Very good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And now Dylan is going to cringe in his seat as he watches live
Let's go.
us sing the best
It's
song.
It's worse because I can see you two together doing it, so it makes it 10 times worse.
It's going to be pressed on wax soon. Don't worry, Dylan.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll be buying
And you'll get a copy of it.
$150 vinyl.
Yeah, by the time I press it on wax, it probably will cost that much plus shipping.
Let's
Alright,
do it.
Are you ready?
No.
It's
Aidan's and Connor's podcast.
Hey, let's go.
We're doing Doctor Who reviews with Dylan in Doctor Who reviews. Hi, Jodie. Oh no, that was weird.
Let's go. Oh my god.
No.
Jesus.
Jeez. I really want one of them like old school Dalek toys.
Yeah, they're fun.
I want like the grey and blue one, but that one looks cool too.
Exterminate
I
them.
have this one, and I also have
That's a deodorant can.
this one.
That's what it was. That's how they designed Daleks. Deodorant cans, pepper pots.
Thanks, Dylan.